service do you require?" Jim was clutching his chest, an irregular red shape he could no longer disguise, growing in circumference, spreading unevenly over the white breast pocket of his linen shirt. A love of horror films, something her friends thought uncharacteristic of her, hadn't prepared Ayisha for her first sight of blood, real blood, in these proportions. Her lungs inflated in stages, so that she was aware of an expansive void in her chest. "I'm sorry, what service?" She wasn't prepared for this. "One of my colleagues. He's been stabbed." It was as if her body was slow to catch up with this news. Only a couple of weeks ago, a staff meeting had been held to discuss the possibility of weapons being brought into school. Just a possibility, or so Ayisha had believed, recoiling from the statistics that had been bandied about. Where? The calm voice of the telephonist couldn't hold her attention. Her mind was galloping furiously. Should she line the witnesses up against the wall? But, scanning faces and hands, there was no obviously guilty party. Where? "I'm sorry, in the playground, Ashfield Comp." "And the wound? Where's that?" "His chest, the left side," Ayisha said this, knowing all it implied. Address confirmed, she thumbed the red exit button. By now she had reined in her cultish thoughts, but felt no less panic. Several pairs of eyes raked the tarmac, some glancing sideways, open wide. With the worry that she might be dismissing the boy responsible or, just as important, those who had egged him on, Ayisha identified two faces from the few who had yet to fall under her radar. "Max, Otis, stand by the gates and show the ambulance crew the way. No one goes out, you understand?" Silent on the question of police, her head dipped repeatedly as she conducted a rough head count. 5, 10, 15. When she reached 20, she realised that, having stepped apart, the boys were still standing there. "Well, do you understand?" One eyed the other, suspicious at their pairing. "Why us, miss?" "This is an emergency. Move it!" Incredulous as her voice sounded, it wasn't a job she would have relished. "Everyone else, stay where you are." Knowing they would mill about, Ayisha tried to memorise the groupings, the 2s and the 3s. "Aw, miss!" The speaker's shirt was unbuttoned, revealing crescents of pink nipple and a white band of underpants. His tie was loosened, his cheekbones smeared with a war paint of glittery blue eyeshadow. Pinched between his fingers was the neck of a sagging balloon, stretched to capacity like a bloated udder, ripe for milking. Not him. Protest was their default reaction. Murmurs of discontent, even among the shocked, brought an illusion of normality. Next to him, a girl's blouse, knotted in Daisy Duke style, revealed an expansive midriff. Not gym-toned or beautiful, her trophy stomach was defiantly displayed, its cavernous belly button pierced. "It's not like we asked for this, did we?" Definitely not her. With one hand pointing, Ayisha retraced the same 180 degrees, repeating, "I said, stay where you are," then turned to cover her back. Experiencing a sense of how ridiculous she must have appeared, she dropped the smoking gun. For many of the kids present, these were to have been the final moments of their final day of school. Exams over, some had attended just so they could leave again. One last assembly, the head's message about sending our fine boys and girls out into the world, was delivered to the half-delirious crush pressing against the double doors at the back of the hall. No shouts of 3 cheers, no rendition of "For he's a jolly good fellow." This generation doesn't do pretense. Well, this is it, boys and girls. The life you were so impatient for. Sucks, doesn't it? Conspicuous among those holding uncapped lipsticks and laundry markers ready for the autographing of cheap polyester stood a girl with covered head and limbs. Neither envious nor condemning, her religion freed her from the gaudier obligations of ritual. Earlier, Ayisha would have recognised her look of quiet bemusement. Their eyes met briefly before she tore herself away, confused by the apparent knowing she found in the girl's expression. All this in the space of a couple of seconds. She swallowed. "And I want complete silence." The boy had positioned himself behind Jim, kneeling awkwardly on the tarmac. "Like this, sir?" "Hands under my arms. I need to lean against you." This was not the time for Ayisha to remember how she had failed her St. John ambulance practical. She, little Miss Perfect,